Welcome to Easy Math TV. This is our third video in our series on payout annuities. This time we're going to be figuring out what our monthly payment is going to be, knowing what what we have. We know how much we have at retirement. What can we expect to get per month if we want it to last a certain amount of time? And then the second part of the question asks us to make something called an amortization schedule that shows how much of each payment came from interest and how much of the payment came from principal. Okay, so this can also be used in a loan situation. Anything that you have a present value that is decaying over time to zero, and you're making regular payments or you're receiving regular payments from it. Okay, so it works the same for both situations. So let's start with the top row up here, up at row 2. Row 2, we're actually going to be just calculating our monthly payment. So let's read the problem. We expect to have $800,000 at retirement. If 3.75% is our interest rate, what can we expect to withdraw every month if we want the account to last 20 years? So you will see that I just went ahead and I typed in my 800,000 in cell A2. That's my principal or present value. I put in the 3.75% in column B for the interest rate. This is all going in row 2 now. In C2, we put our time in years, which is 20. In D2, we put our number of payments per year, which is 12. And then in cell E2, we actually typed in equals PMT. So the formula is actually showing to you there on the right. Equals PMT parenthesis B2 divided by D2. So again, that's equals PMT parenthesis B as in boy, or B as in Bravo 2, slash D as in David 2, comma, C2 times D2, comma, negative A2, comma, close parenthesis. So that's the payment, $4,743.11. We can answer that part of the question right now. So 4,743.11 per month is our regular payment or withdrawal. So we've got that part of the answer, and now we're being asked to make our schedule. So underneath that here, starting in row 3, are my headers. Okay, so the headers are in column A, we have our payment number. So I'm just going to be keeping track of the payment number. And then the payment amount itself is in column B. The amount of interest is in column C. So calculate the amount of interest each time. And that actually gets pulled into your, that's part of your payment. So whenever you're withdrawing money from an account that's earning interest, part of that is actually coming from interest. And then in column D, the portion that is actually going to be coming from the principal. So that means that our remaining balance is going to be decreasing by a small amount at first. And as we go, it'll be decreasing more and more. And then in column E is our remaining principal. So you want to put those headers in, okay? And then in row 6, so let's start with payment number 1 in row 6. So I'm just going to go over every one of these formulas for you one at a time. Actually, let's start with row 5. In row 5, we are just putting one thing. We're going to put our starting principal in E5. So we're literally just going to type equals A2 and copy the number that we had in A2 into cell E5. We just need to copy that there. That's not going to get filled down or anything, so I've highlighted it in gold. I colored it in gold because we don't want to do anything with that. We're just going to leave that alone. So let's look at row 6. Row 6, first thing we put is our payment number 1. Second thing is our payment. Our payment is just equals $2, and you can see I actually typed that in there, equals $2. It's going to copy the payment from row 2. And the $sign is going to keep the number steady as we pull down. In cell C6, type equals E5 times B $2 divided by D $2. So that's equals Edward 5 times Bravo $2 divided by David $2. In cell D6, so this is the portion that goes to principal, you're going to type equals B6 minus C6, and that's basically equals Bravo 6 minus Charlie 6. And then in cell E6, type equals E5 minus D6. So equals Eagle 5 minus David 6. What that's going to do is that's going to just subtract the portion that went to the principal out of the previous principal amount. Okay, so we calculated our interest. We calculated the portion that went to the principal in row 6. And we can see that after our first payment, our principal went down to $797,756.89. So let me just move this off to the side for a second. And yeah, move it off to the side. Okay. So the first thing, I already have it copied down, but basically put the first couple numbers in over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, and then highlight all of those and just fill all the way down until you get to 240, which is that's the total number of payments that we have. And notice I stopped at 240. Okay, so 240 just happens to equal 20 times 12, 20 years times 12 payments per year. All right. So that you need to kind of fill all the way down manually. But now that you have that filled down, if we go back up to the top of, or back up to row 6 again, back up to row 6. If we highlight all of this, and down here in the green, where the little green square is in the lower corner, when you get that black plus sign, just double click on it. Double click, two clicks. And it'll automatically fill it down to that 240. And what I want you to notice is that by the time you make that 240th payment, your balance has now reached 0. So that's what we want to see. So you can actually see anywhere along the line, no matter what payment number, just pick a payment number to look at. I don't know, maybe 3 years. So in 3 years, you're at payment number 36, right? So this is the 3-year mark right here. At 3 years into this, we see that we're still getting $4,743.11. We earned $2,241 and change in interest. That keeps going down a little bit because the principal that we're earning interest on keeps going down. So we keep removing more and more and more from our balance. So our balance is going to slowly go down, but we can actually see that like we are earning interest as we go. So portions of our our monthly payments are actually coming from interest earned. So that's pretty cool. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you're enjoying these videos, if you're finding them useful, and I'll see you in the next video.